2, 1.
My name is Nick. I'm a full-time trader and entrepreneur. We put out tons of stuff for free for traders.
These are real trades. This is real money. I'm putting my money on the line.
This is going to be a live trading video. Here, locking in over $1,000 on this trade.
Wow, I'd love to get in on this.
Technical insights that really look good to me.
Here we go, we're live.
All right, guys, welcome back to the stream. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're doing well. Today's a big day. It's I feel like it's always a big day, but I'm just happy that you guys are here, and I'm happy that we're able to do this. Every day is a blessing, honestly. Every once in a while you hear something in life that sort of makes you realize how fortunate some of us are in terms of a situation. Right now, we know everything going on in Afghanistan and scary things happening in the world. It really does sometimes make you just sit back and be like, wow, I am fortunate. I am blessed and so thankful to not have to deal with that sort of situation. And our hearts and prayers and hopes go out to those sort of people. It is a scary, scary time for anybody living in that situation. So, with that said, guys, thank you for being here. And another day, very, very thankful for this opportunity. The fact that we just get to hang out on YouTube and talk about trading and share ideas and learn this thing as a craft is by itself just a cool thing to be thankful for. So happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're doing well. We got Dawn in the chat. We got Big Al, Carthy, Kyle. I'm not going to be able to say your name, but I could say Kumar, I think. Is that right? Hopefully. Sean, Hope, Pavan, Etrickson. Good to see everybody in the chat. Thank you for being here. Welcome back. Okay, so what's going on in the world of markets? Guys, I've got something really, really cool to show you, and I can't contain my excitement anymore. So I'm going to show it to you right now. Let me pull it up on the screen. I'll come back to this in just a second, but let me show you what we've been working on. This tool over here on the left-hand side of the screen is coming to you soon. By the way, if you guys are already members, the gold members inside of our Discord will be getting this completely for free. I'm really, really excited to hand that out to you guys probably as soon as possible. The gold members will be getting access to this. This is the A1 Trading Trend Scanner. So what this thing does is it is basically one big pullback scanning device. I've got a video dropping today. If you guys wanted more information, stay tuned. The video will be dropping pretty soon. I'm just making sure everything is set up on the information and guidelines and instructions and all the sort of questions that I know we'll get as soon as we drop this. But again, this is a tool that is going to be available soon. It is the A1 Trend Scanner, and I am so excited to be releasing it to you guys inside of the Gold VIP group, as well as there will be a way to purchase it if you would like to on the website. But what this thing does is it looks for trend trading setups. So basically it is telling us different alerts and different signals that are going on in the markets. So right now, for example, it's telling us that there may be a buy opportunity on NZD CAD. Euro NZD is looking potentially overbought. And what it does is it uses sort of a trend detection software to find pullback opportunities. So it's looking for markets that are trending strongly, and then it's looking for opportunities to try and look to ride that trend. For example, maybe we look at Euro Yen here today. So it's telling us that there is a trend to the downside here. So you can see, yes, there in fact is a very, very strong trend to the downside there for Euro Yen, right? So if we look at this just from a chart perspective, I can minimize that for a second. And you see this thing is just in a major, major downtrend. Well, instead of sitting here and watching all day long for pullback setups, this software is really, really cool because it basically alerted us that, not only is there a sell trend going on, but we've actually got a pullback. There may be room to look for that setup there. So I am really, really excited for this, tool to come out. It is something that is going to be built for MT4, and again, it's something that we're working really hard on behind the scenes. So coming soon. And if you're already a gold member, like I said, you're going to get that for free. So stay tuned with me on there. All Discord members also know, unfortunately, the gold membership comes with all of our software tools. So if you are a gold member, then yes, but I'm not sure if you are or not, Victoria. If you are a gold member, it's going to be completely free. You're just going to get it in the download folder that is available to our gold members. Hey, Neve, good to see you. Thank you for being here. It is MT4. It's not for TradingView, unfortunately, just because we find MT4 to be a lot It's actually, to me, when it comes to software for trading, MT4 is like the best because it gives you all this sort of sandbox developing, opportunities. It has MQL4, which is the language. And, I have all sorts of experience in that sort of background. So kind of cool. But anyways, let's go on to the analysis. If you guys want more information on that tool, by the way, like I said, I've got a video dropping today that I am going to be sharing information about it and how you can get it. And like I said, if you're a gold member, you get it completely for free today. So very, very exciting stuff. With that said, we'll take a look here at the DXY. This is where we're starting for our analysis today. And the dollar index here, sort of hovering across highs here. And as we look at it, we see that we are sort of stuck at this level of resistance. We've been stuck here multiple times. This is not the first time either. You can see last time we were here, or the last two times we were here, we found resistance. Now, today is a really interesting day because we do have some significant news on the horizon. We've got a Fed meeting event happening today with the potential to really move the market. Now, there's a lot of pressure weighing on the U.S. To talk about the tapering idea, right? Right now, we see inflation is dramatically on the rise here in the United States. And with that, usually what we see is that when you have inflation rising, what that means is that eventually monetary policy will have to tighten. Okay, what does tighten mean? Well, tighten in the form of reduced spending, meaning, instead of so much Fed-driven buying of bonds and things like that to sort of stimulate the economy, they're talking about, or the question is, are they going to start talking about peeling back on that? Are they going to tighten up their monetary policy? And will they eventually talk about even raising rates, right? We are seeing a lot of growth in terms of jobs, et cetera, GDP and things like that. So the question is, can or will the Fed sort of talk about the idea of raising rates and or tapering or reducing of spending, right? If that comes into conversation, that could be incredibly bullish for the dollar. And so watching the dollar today, I would say, obviously we're going to have to wait to see what is said in the Fed meeting. But if there's something bullish about the dollar in the form of tapering or, anything that looks like monetary policy tightening for the US, I would not be surprised to see some dramatic increasing on the dollar and maybe the catalyst that we need to get above 93 here on the dollar decisively. Again, we have found resistance here multiple times, and this higher low is also looking pretty convincing here that bulls have a strong opinion going into the meeting here today. So where does that take us? Well, we can jump over to some of the individual currency pairs against the dollar. I think the dollar has to be sort of our focus today, as it has been for the last several days. But the Euro USD is where I'd like to start with this. So the Euro, to me, is mostly sell biased. However, again, with that trend trading scanner that I pulled up just a minute ago from the release today, I personally will be looking for pullbacks. So I can't really justify selling the Euro USD where we sit right now. However, I do think that it is bearish and have been bearish on it, especially recently with the dollar strength sort of coming back in. We saw that pullback on the Euro USD, and the bears just came in strong, right? The bears came in real heavy on the Euro USD. So where do we go from here? Well, we tack on a few moving averages. You can see things are pretty trendy to the downside yet again. And I would say that, okay, yes, we have broken underneath this level here, pretty significant level. What was demand basically, tried to hold his resistance once, broke out, faked out, and then fell underneath. So now the next sort of level that I think everyone is watching is this level here, just shy of 1.17. And a big reason behind that is that when you have, this major sell-off and then it sort of stops there, right? That shows that, okay, this level clearly is going to be contested. There's a strong chance that buyers and sellers will be watching this area heavily. We did get an attempt from the bulls, but then again, that bearish strength is rolling back in. So for me, watching the Euro USD, I can't force my way into a trade right now. There's nothing for me to do here. But if we were to see some form of a breakout, maybe retest, anything that sort of pops up on the, overbought status, not just from the RSI, but also just from price action standpoint, you get something like that, that could be an opportunity for me to look for more downside on the Euro USD, especially if we get that USD catalyst, whether it be today or upcoming in some form of some form of economic release. But the main focus for me going into today is going to be watching the USD. If the USD has if there's anything from the Fed that sounds like tapering or tightening of monetary policy, if we get some conversation there, then of course I will be, very, very interested in watching that closely. Hi, Ivan. Thank you for being here. Bearish NZD. Yes. I want to talk about the NZD. That's the other big topic today. So stay with me on that. We will be talking about that for sure. Just a reminder, respect everyone in the chat and do not spam or you'll be put in timeout. Just be patient, enjoy the show. Thank you very much, Dade, for moderating as always. Very kind of you. And so let's keep going here. We will get to the NZD pair because I want to talk about it big time. It's definitely of interest to me, especially after all that craziness that we saw with the RBNZ last night for me. It might have been morning for you or midnight for you, depends where you are. But again, definitely going to be talking about the NZD for sure. So the pound, where are we at with the pound? Well, the pound is looking like it is still sort of rolling over to dollar strength right now. And again, once we see everything that happens today with the Fed meeting, it may be a bit more clear as to what the dollar is looking like. If you get something, like I said, that is very, very hawkish for the dollar today, then it very well could be headed right on down to the lows. So for me, watching that going into this meeting, I am fairly bullish on the US dollar. I have a bias to the upside there for the dollar. So as price retraces here, there may be an opportunity to look for chances to go short and to continue down on this move here for the pound dollar. We have seen this thing fail to really break out. I was thinking that the UK or the pound may have steam to maybe pop above and maybe hold that level and continue higher, but we never saw it, never really played out. And so now as we look at this, again, sellers seem to be in control. And so any retracement there looks to me like an opportunity to just keep going short. Of course, that is just my opinion. Please remember that what I'm saying on this stream is not me telling you what to do with your money. You are a qualified person. If you can trade, you can make your own decisions. But that's my thought is going into this the rest of the week. I still think that the pound dollar is looking very, very weak, and pullback plays may be in order for me. Next up, we'll take a look at dollar yen. Dollar yen, a very, very interesting pair right now. We do see, we saw some yen strength for the start of the week. We saw price, roll dramatically over after it came up into resistance, right? So you had this area just collapse, right? Price came down very, very hard in response to everything going on with the Afghanistan situation, the Delta variant, right? You had all sorts of concerns for markets. Now we do see price popping off the lows very, very strongly. And this thing is in a range bound market, big time, right? We see this thing really, really just going back and forth. It is an ugly, choppy range. And for now, there's not really anything for me to do here. For me as a trend trader, I would love to see this thing break out to the upside. In that case, I could definitely look for opportunities to try and go long on the dollar, especially if we see something hawkish from the Fed today or in the next week or so. Very, very well could be a catalyst there to look for more upside on the US dollar. But this is the thing. When I'm looking at dollar yen, when I'm looking at this from just a technical perspective, it is choppy and indecisive. And for me, what that means is there's no trades unless you're range trading and you have a bullish or bearish bias, maybe you could look for bounce plays back and forth. But for now, like I said, where we currently sit, we're just in the middle of no man's land. So just where we are at today with that. Next up, we'll take a look at USD CHF. This one I am bullish on. I have a long position on this trade I can't remember exactly. I think my entry's right around here somewhere. I tried to catch it on the pullback. Actually, this one was kind of crazy because I shared this trade alert. Let me pull this up just so you guys can see. Okay, where is that? Okay, there it is. All right. Here it is. So inside of the Discord, I shared my trade alert there for dollar Swiss franc. And this is crazy. I stayed in this trade like one eye shut, one eye open, gripping on for dear life to my stop loss because it barely got missed. And this is an awesome feeling. If you guys have ever had this happen to you, so check this out. So I said, I sent out this alert to members. I said, I'm picking up USD CHF here at this level, risking only 40 pips should price go against me. So keep that in mind. I risked 40 pips. From a technical reasoning, I liked the pullback to the 50% retracement, a strong support level, pullback on the dollar strength in general, and looking for a higher low, which actually we got. And then from a fundamental reasoning, I said I like the dollar here long going into tomorrow's retail sales numbers. By the way, they actually kind of stunk, but the dollar still rallied, which was a whole thing that we talked about yesterday. But anyways, I said the U.S. has been recovering at a rapid pace and numbers have potential to come out better than expected tomorrow. Additionally, I am bearish on the Swiss franc, especially after its recent pop in response to some of the global concerns and COVID situation. I believe that this fear could be short-lived and may present some good risk on opportunities. So yeah, I liked this setup. You can see it came down here to this point. I jumped in there at the 50% retracement, but check this out. My stop loss, let's go check this out. So stop loss here, I'm going to copy that, 99.48. Okay. So let me see if I can just do this. Actually, you know what? Let me use a horizontal line. I just want to show you guys. I should just log into my thing, but I don't want to do it on camera because I'm afraid someone will hack me. I don't know. There it is. Okay, so look at this. Here's the stop loss. So I entered, you guys saw, I entered on the 50% retracement, and my stop loss was placed in a particular spot for a reason. I wanted to clear the 61.8, right? So again, I entered into my long position. I sent that trade alert right around here, and then price went against me just enough to scare me into thinking I was going to get my stop loss hit just before it reversed dramatically and went in my favor. I don't know. Has this ever happened to you guys? It's an awesome feeling. I wish it was every time. It is not. But when it happens, it's an awesome feeling. Has this ever happened to you? So again, I entered here. My stop loss was here. Price came all the way down. And in hindsight, I shoulda, coulda, woulda just entered at the 61.8, but I did not. I entered at the 50. And then price just barely missed my stop loss, which is awesome. So it's a great feeling when that happens. I don't know if that's ever happened to you guys, but I wanted to share that just to let you know that, you know, my entries aren't always perfect. But sometimes it's nice to have a stop loss that sort of holds its own very well. But anyways, looking at dollar Swiss, I am bullish on this thing. I think it has potential to tap back at the highs, may even see, you know, a push up past in the next few weeks up there at 92.5, 92.6. So that's kind of what I'm watching for the dollar Swiss franc. Very interested to see what happens today. We'll see if my trade just gets collapsed into a stop loss. Maybe it still hits that stop loss anyways. But if possible, I will see if I can trail stops into profit at some point here and look for dollar strength. So that is my opinion right now on the dollar. I am bullish. So we will see how that plays out. And again, if you want to see the trades that I take, you know, I share everything that I'm doing inside of my journal, inside of Discord. If you'd like to join the Discord, it's the first link in the description. You can sign up on our website and join us in the chat. You get access to our chat rooms. You can see all the trades that I am taking, Frank is taking, Patrick is taking. We have live webinars where you can join in and ask questions and work with our coach, Joe Bareka. He's from Australia. Great guy. We have educational material, all sorts of stuff. So if you've been looking for a group to join, in my opinion, I'm a little bit biased, but there is no better group on the internet. We have a team of qualified people, traders, and staff putting this all together to make it the very best community for traders. And I'm proud of it. So go join it. Come join the fun. So with that said, let's keep moving along here. Let's take a look at gold now, XAU USD. So you guys also know that I'm long on gold. And the crazy thing here is that, you know, dollar Swiss, my long trade, is sort of contradictory to gold because I'm long on gold and I'm long on the Swiss franc. So that might sound a bit weird, but I've explained the gold trade many, many times. You guys know, if you've been watching, that I bought at 1703. I've been holding since. That's probably one of my best entries in a while. I wish every trade was that good, but alas, it is not. But anyways, I went long on gold at that level and have been holding it since. The thing here is that gold seems to be on the rise, but so does dollar Swiss franc. Does anybody know why that is weird? For the quiz question for the traders out there who have a little bit more experience, dollar Swiss franc longs. I'm going to write this out because this is sort of an important concept. And XAU USD. So if you're long on both, what is weird about that? Because I'm long on both and it's kind of weird. So what do you guys think about that? Like, why is that a strange concept? What's up, Ryan? Thanks for being here. Panu, if you'd like to join, the link is down below in the description. And Dade's got some info there for you as well. You get access to trade alerts, chat rooms, webinars, weekly forecasts, trading softwares, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I know this happened to me. I was so scared and panicked not to hit my stop loss. Well, you kind of have to like trust your stop loss to a degree, but there's no way to watch your trade go against you and not feel a little bit annoyed. So, it's more just, it's okay to have emotions to some degree as long as your actions don't reflect your emotions, right? We're not robots as much as all the Instagrammers will say, oh, trade like a robot. We are human beings, right? So you sometimes have emotion, but it's more about, can you control and keep them under, management. USD CHF is also a safe haven. USD up, gold supposed to be down. Yeah, so that's kind of the weird thing. And I have a reason for doing it. Number one, I bought the dollar Swiss franc because I am generally bullish on the dollar right now. And then I bought gold because of the sort of concern around inflation, which is sort of backwards. But part of the reason that I bought gold was highly technical, which is, it came down to that yearly low, and I was willing to just take a buy trade there with a pretty tight risk just to keep things, managed. And from there, I picked up dollar Swiss almost as like a semi hedge, kind of. I bought dollar Swiss franc as this thing was going up. So those are kind of cross against each other again, because, this thing relies somewhat on dollar weakness to go up, and dollar Swiss franc obviously relies on dollar strength to go up. So those are inverse of one another. But the thing here is, there is the possibility, and the point of saying this is that the gold market can actually go up at the same time as the dollar going up. And so, I had the setup for both, and the correlation there is not perfect, but I just wanted to share that. I thought that was interesting. Also, yes, the Swiss has a lot of gold reserves, but that's also why it's so confusing, because again, if you are long on this and long on gold, right? The thing here is, you're long in the CHF, or sorry, you're short specifically on the CHF, right? And long specifically on the dollar. What makes that confusing is that the Swiss franc holds gold, you're shorting it. Gold itself, you're going long, right? It's sort of inverse from one another. But it is sort of confusing sometimes when they do both go up, but that is sort of what we're seeing right now. Yeah, so that's the thing. So anyways, we'll take a look here at gold a little closer. I pointed out yesterday with gold, one thing that was kind of interesting is that when you look at this thing from just a trend line perspective, this thing is still, for the most part trending higher. But I would watch this just to see, if price does break out to the downside here. I believe my stop loss is just shy of this level. So if price does reverse, I will go ahead and take my profit there on the trade. If it does want to continue though, then of course I will look to continue to trail stops. So I feel like I'm in a decent spot there for those of you guys who are also riding that gold trade with me inside of the group. It's been a really, really good one. Probably the best trade I've had in the month, a month or two. It's been just crazy because, 1703, that's what is that? It's like, it's a good solid $80 on the price of gold, which is a significant move. So we'll see if we can catch more of it. If it keeps going up, then of course I will stay riding it. But that's just kind of where we're at. So like I said yesterday with gold, we are still sort of in the same boat. If you see a breakout to the downside, if you see some form of a lower low and lower highs coming into this market, then perhaps there is some more gold pullback in store, and maybe sellers will try and push this thing back down. But for now, it's just watching this trend line to see if it can really truly break. It does still seem like buyers are fairly strong. We saw a bit of a dip here on the lower time frames. Here is the 30-minute chart, right? Lower time frames, we saw a dip here just today, and then found some buyers already for gold. So just going to be interested to watch that for the rest of the week. And here on the 30-minute chart, you've also got this level to watch. You've got some early warning signs if price is going to reverse on gold to potentially catch some of it and to look for it. I would say keep an eye on 1780, that sort of range for a possible lower low. And then, maybe we do see a little bit more sell pressure for the gold market. So just some things to think about. Okay, I'm excited to talk about this, you guys. It is NZD time. So what happened with NZD? What the heck? I mean, this thing just sold off of a cliff. I mean, you're looking at NZD USD. You've also got NZD JPY. You've got NZD CHF. You've got Aussie New Zealand, which is, another interesting one. So what's going on with the NZD? Why is it so bearish? Well, here's basically what I know. So New Zealand, they had a monetary policy meeting late last night, or morning for them. They had a monetary policy meeting in which they were going to be discussing the rumors around a rate hike for New Zealand, right? For the central bank in New Zealand. They were talking about rate hiking, right? Meaning they were planning on raising it by 25 basis points, which was supposed to be a very bullish thing for the NZD, which honestly had sort of good hopes going for the NZD. You can see price was forming higher lows, higher highs, but then something sort of got in the way. There was cases found around the pandemic, right? So there was additional cases found in Auckland, I believe is how you say that. I'm not exactly sure how to say that city name. I think that's right. But there was a case, I believe, found in Auckland, and New Zealand has a very, very strong, no case policy. Like they're like very quick to shut down and try and stop the spread, right? So in response to that sort of situation with that, they had, concerns around lockdown, and they have all sorts of reaction to that situation. And here you can see it very clearly on the chart. New Zealand got incredibly weak. And then after everything was said and done, not only did we get that sort of concern around COVID, we had a big disappointment in which NZD actually said, no rate hikes yet. And that disappointed a lot of investors and traders who were expecting rate hikes for New Zealand, right? Which myself included, I thought that was going to happen. I was bullish on NZD. And then, sort of fortunately, I didn't stick to it. I actually jumped out before it got really, really bad. Because again, that rumor and everything going on completely turned everything around. So what was a very, very positive outlook for NZD converted into a really disappointing and bearish situation for NZD. So if anything, I would say that NZD looks fairly weak, especially against the dollar here. So we can see price. Here's the release where they said, actually, we're not going to be raising rates. And we got this massive ugly candle, went down, went up, went all around, just choppiness as investors and traders sort of process the news. And now we see the following day here in the New York session, prices almost back down to the lows. So watching NZD, like I said, I think pullbacks are mostly bearish now, especially off of that disappointment and potential lockdowns like we've seen in Australia. AUD USD has been beaten down so bad in response to lockdowns, et cetera. And we can see how impactful that truly is to an economy, right? You see GDP slow, you see unemployment, all sorts of stuff gets bad. So if that happens in New Zealand, you may see NZD USD headed down for a while. So that is a fundamental catalyst, not just looking at charts and technicals, but also incorporating real world applications and fundamentals to the trading. To me, is very, very important. So I will be watching this. This is hot on my watch list. If we do see pullbacks, I'll be keeping an eye on NZD pairs. So with that said, guys, that's going to wrap it up for me. If you are not already in our Discord and you would like to see the trades that I am taking, like I said, all of my trades are shared here inside of Discord, and you can get access to that down below in the description. You can also join our chat rooms, webinars, see the other trade alerts by some of our other traders, etc. So if that sounds interesting to you, there's a link down below in the description, and there's a promo code to get a discount because you're a subscriber here on YouTube. So thank you very much for being here, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Trade safe, and we will see you back in the next one.
I know you're expecting Nick, but my name's Julie and I do the real work around here. I wanted to take a second to thank you guys for watching the show and tell you more about some free content that we offer. One of the things that we offer is a free email newsletter. So if you click the link down below, you can sign up for free market analysis, trading tips, and exclusive offers. Every once in a while, someone here at A1 Trading takes a crazy trade and you'll be the first one to know about it. See you guys next time.